All right, guys, welcome back. So this is our fourth video in our series. What I want to talk to you about, and this one is images. So we'll get right to it. A few things. So we're going to use what's called the image tag. It's IMG. This is an empty tag. That means that it doesn't have a closed tag, and there are a few tags that do not. We'll talk about those in detail in future videos, but just know that the image tag doesn't have a closed tag. But also note that an image tag cannot stand alone, right? So image tag requires two tags. It has to have two tags in order to be able to function. Because remember, attributes extend the functionality of the tag. So one of the tags it has to have is the source tag. The other tag that it has to have, which is a recent requirement, but it is required, is the alt tag. The alt tag just says what if someone comes to your site and they can't see it for whatever reason, the alt text is behind it to say, hey, this is what's happening in this image, or this is, so that they can get the same experience that anyone should get. It also keeps your site, accessible. So it makes it web accessible as well. All right, so off the bat, so I want to tell you, let's go ahead and get started. So let's say we wanted to put an image. We have this block quote here. Let's say we wanted an image here to break up in between this little paragraph area. All right, so we said that is the image tag. So I'm gonna type IMG. And you're going to notice nothing is happening because, as I said, it can't stand alone. Because if you just have an image tag and you don't tell it where the source of that image is, you just have an image tag, right? So we need to make sure that that we give it the proper source attribute. And the cool thing is Dreamweaver is kind of going to help us out with this. So I'm going to hit image. I'm going to go to source. Right, and notice Dreamweaver sort of shows it, so I can hit source. It also gives us the option to browse, so we can actually browse for the image. And we could also type it up ourselves, and we will do that in a second. So let's just say I want a horizontal image. So I'm going to grab this one. I don't even know what's in that image, but hey, that's we're living life on the edge. So we have the source tag. And then we need the alt tag. So now I'm like, oh my goodness, what is this a picture of? The cool thing is if you hover and you wait, Dreamweaver will show you a small idea or a small icon thumbnail of that picture. Looking at this photo is large, which when we get into Photoshop, I will show you guys how to resize these images so that you can make them work for you, not against you. All right, but this is going to be a super large image, and we're going to control this a few ways. But anyway, so I have the image, and I said the alt text tag is also needed. Alt attribute is also needed. So I can click on alt, and then I can say fireworks at night. So another thing is you don't want your alt text to be super long. You just wanted to basically say what's in the photo. Reasons are there's a screen reader that's going to read this, and they have to sit through a lot of reading. It just won't be a great experience. I'm going to save this, and now let's go ahead and preview to see what's happening over here. So if I hit refresh, notice that image, that humongous image is coming in for us, right? So that is huge. All right. So we'll figure out how to fix that in just a few. A few things I want to talk to you about with syntax. The image tag is used to embed the image in a web page. However, images aren't really inserted in your page. They're linked. They're linked from your folder. This is why you want to make sure that folder, that local root folder, is structured and sound, because a lot of things are linked, not embedded. Okay. I already talked to you about it being an empty tag and its requirements. The syntax for the image is always the IMG, and then that source equals, and then that alt equals, and then you can extend it even further by talking about width and height and stuff like that, which we're going to add to ours as well. And those are all attributes, just so you guys know. Let's see. So we did all, okay, so we're good. All right, so now we are ready where we want to size this. So you kind of have to have an idea of the size though, because you can skew it. So this is where I use Photoshop to help me. But I know that it is a 6:4 ratio. I don't know. But anyway, we're going to guesstimate. So we're going to say, to some of you, this is probably easy, but not to me. So I'm going to say width equals. And in this case, since I don't know, and the interesting thing about HTML is you can only use pixels. Like you can't use percentages when you're talking HTML, when you're in HTML. But in CSS, we would be able to be like, okay, well, this is the width and height, and go into CSS and change the width and height. But we're not in CSS. So the actual width of this is, 6,000 pixels. So we will write it just as it is. What I forget? Yep, quote. Some of you guys were like, what? You forgot something. All right, height equals 4,000 pixels. Okay, so I'm save this. So nothing's gonna change. What we need to do is I'm gonna divide that by, that's still gonna be large. Let me see. Let me divide this by, got my trusty dusty calculator here. Hang on. Let's try this. I'm just gonna remove 0 each one. Let's see. I save that. And let's just see how crazy skewed I messed this up. But let's see. Let me go to our page. I don't know where page went. Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's go here. And you saw that was super huge. All right, sweet. So I kept the ratio because it was easy numbers. All right, so now I have it set. And now it's sitting in there like I'd like it to sit. So that part is cool. Okay. All right. So that part is cool. It's sitting in there. Let's go to, now remember we already know that a few things about styles, and we can add styles to this. Like we can add styles for the width and height using that same style attribute that we used before. And remember that was style equals, and we can say width blah 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 or height blah blah blah. So we can do this with styles. And the cool thing with styles is I could have easily said, 50% width and 50% height. So just know that you can use that. We're not gonna do it here, but we have that option. Let's see. And then also note too, remember I told you could type it yourself. So something new that we're doing that we haven't had to do anything else. This images, right? And then this slash, and then we went into the folder. So the reason is because right now, if we look at our structure, our index is right here, right? I'm over here in the local file. So if we look at our structure, our index is directly in the folder. But in our local root folder is an images folder. So that means in order to get to any of these images, the index file has to go look into the images folder. And then from the images folder, it has to find whatever file I say. So that slash is because it's going out from our folder into another folder. So that's what the that's why the slash is there versus anywhere else when we're bringing stuff in, it's pretty much just been just writing the tags out just straight up. So just keep an eye on that. Let's see. Nope, I think we have gone through everything that we want to go through for images. And like I said, make sure you're looking at the W3 School site to go further along in this. But as far as our images goes and to get our image in here, we are good. So in our next video, we will do a background image where we'll put an actual image in the background of our HTML site. And that'll be in the next video. So I will see you guys in a few.